Okay, I'm working on the panhead case. I'm screwing in the main bearing retainer. Make sure it fits before I put the whole motor together and find that doesn't fit. So it went in there. Had some burrs in there to make the parts match each other. They didn't like each other. So now they screw together a lot better now. I had to take out the bearings after I blasted them to get all the grit out. 90% of the grit was out, but 10% was still in there. The 10% is what's going to do your damage your motor. So I get to press this all back together into here. Where's your tool at? Got a tool? That should work. Yep, that'll push on it. Alright, so what was the question on your Ultima stroker rod length, whatever the hell it was all about? I got confused as soon as your lips started moving, so.
Couldn't do me like that.
So what was the question?
Do they use the same length rod, connecting rods, for a stroker crank that they do on a standard crank?
Depends on the motor category you're in.
My category would be Evolution.
Evolution 140,
Negative.
Evolution 4-inch bore, 4 1/4 bore, 3 1/2 bore. What Evolution motor are we playing with?
3 13/16 bore,
That's not a motor they make.
4 1/4.
Question has to do with the stock 3 1/2 inch bore. So you got 3 1/2 inch bore cases, 4-inch bore, 4 1/8 for S&S, 4 1/4 for Ultima, 4.4 for Ultima. Each one of those has a different rod length they use relative to what they're doing. Now when you're talking about a street bike motor that has the stock dimensional case, or a 4-inch bore motor that's based off the stock motor, those use a stock connected rod length. And changing the rod length does not change stroke. Does not change size of the motor. You move the crank pin further away to get more stroke, or closer to the center to get less stroke. Now you notice on a real motor I can press on a case without breaking them. Unlike a piece of crap twin cam motor, you can't do that with a break. Don't put them in upside down, put them in the right side up.
That helps.
It does make a difference for some reason. You get in there, you center it, and you go down until it stops. It gives it 1 to 2 tons pressure, about 2 tons max. So that means you can drive your truck over this on each tire and it won't hurt the case. 2 tons pressure don't hurt it. Unless it's a twin cam. It'll break the whole center case out.
That's if you don't have a press.
Correct. That's how you do that. So now this part of the case is done. We just need to clean it up. I already painted the surface after I blasted it because this thing was all corroded. It was nasty looking. This one over here, I probably got to replace the main bearing component. Alright, so what are we doing over here on this Ultima something or other? What do you got going on?
I was just comparing rod sizes. That feels pretty good right there. Maybe even a little bit less resistance. How's that feel to you?
Good enough. Street fit.
Same rod. A little warm.
I don't care.
A little bit of discoloration.
I don't care. Looks like you're working hard to put that in there.
It's a little tighter.
Tighter than I like it. That's for like a British bike palm press fit, they call those. That's not even a palm press, that's just finger press. I like them looser than that, so that's a little snug. It'll work, but it's a little snug. What else you got? More of them. How many of those we got?
2 sets, 2 cranks, 4 1/4.
Is that one tight?
And a 3 and.
Is that one tight?
It's about the same.
It looks like it's tight.
It also, this was the set that got a little warm.
Oh, I don't care.
This set's been through Arizona desert a couple times, heated up. Took out a top end, head gasket came apart.
Yeah, you're right. Need a little work. What are you doing about the big inside?
There was no damage to the big end. There was no discoloration. Everything. I think you measured them for me at a different time. Said they were round all the way across. They didn't go.
Are they still round?
They didn't have a variation.
Definitely got a lot of
You said they were in spec.
Definitely got a lot of crap's gonna run through them. Looks like somebody went after the fucking some kind of a ball bean or with a barrel. What are those damn things? Oh, I forget those things. I think they're used for cylinders. Okay, let's see what we got here. Pretty tight. So that's in spec, huh? Whose spec are we using? Harley spec? 6/10 out. Whose spec were we using? It wasn't that guy's spec. Those need to be honed a little bit.
I guess we should check the other one, huh?
Probably wouldn't hurt to do the whole job. That looks dangerous. See how the heavy side's hanging over the bench? See, I got that expensive case on the floor. I don't want them to break. Don't leave those there. They wind up on top of that case and breaks that case. Don't put them on my clean bench. It's already 8 o'clock and you haven't started on my project yet. How's that
These are
one look?
new. You know these aren't right because it's new.
Probably not.
I've never seen you accept a new race.
Japanese rods were made right. Did those come from
It's
Japan?
American. See, it
American.
says right there, American.
American. Those used to be made in Korea, those rods.
Want to look at them on the machine?
They're made from CCS, who used to make those rods 20 years ago. Same rods, I bet. They got a couple sets left. How bad my race is. If I go and check mine out. This one has some pitting, as I recall. But after you blast the cases, it kind of masks the damage areas. That's looking under the flashlight. Determine if I'm going to hone it or replace it. I've already got the part to replace it. Remember, keep that. You already got the new part. See if we need it.
This one didn't move.
What didn't move? What's it at? It's a lot looser than the other one. That's 1,000 smaller than the other one.
It wasn't out of round.
It's 1,000 smaller than the other one was, so what's it fitted to? We don't know. Got some bearings for that one?
Yeah, these are the brand new bearings.
Brand new what? Have to measure that stuff. My guess is it got honed and put oversized bearings in it, because that was bigger than normal stock size. Stock size is around halfway between those two numbers. otherwise known as about 0, give or take a couple tenths. He was 5 tenths up, so it's bigger than stock. Somebody's been in my stuff. I can tell because all of this stuff was coming over. Well, I remember I did that. The cord got caught over here. So technically, I was in my stuff. Size is that?
This is the new one.
New. New to you? New to you or just new?
That one's new.
New. Not new to you. There's a difference. It's a gem.
Want to get all crazy.
Spins a little bit on the fat side. So it looks like we set you up with a 9/10 to a thou clearance. Bearings are undersized, so that puts you at about 11/10. Yeah, you're good. Except for that mark right there I don't like. What the hell's that big pit? Here. The pit just rubbed off. What's this piece of crap?
Almost new.
That's appears to be another Jim's. Almost new. So it's almost worn out. Appears to be about the same size as yours.
They're both mine.
So that means going by the indicator, if it's still set right over the machine, unless you had undersized rollers, you had 0 clearance. Which means the rod is oval shaped. Instead of being round, it's like that. Tight inside, loose in top. And it was set up probably with only about half a thou clearance, even at that. Probably about 4/10 clearance when they set it up. Way too tight. So you need some honing done. You have to measure the rollers too. Rollers do vary. Standard is not always standard. Just like new is not always new.
I may be mistaken, but you may have
That's
thrown,
what I got to work on right here.
you might have thrown those rollers away.
Threw them away. Yeah, we got to buy a whole new crank now. You can't mix and match parts like that. Let's see what my pin is. I haven't measured mine yet. This one's big also. 4, 7, about 7/10. Pretty big. 7, 6, 7, 7. You can see the 7/10 or not. Alright, that's 7/10. Where's my bearings at? There's my rollers. Ooh, these ones are standard. Look at that, right on 5/10. That's back when bearings were made correctly. Standard meant standard. Yeah, that one's half a tenth under. That'd be 50 millionths. Didn't think I could measure that close, did you? How about this one? 5/10. We'll go with it. Get the small ones out. Oh, we got a problem now. It's 5/10. See, this motor was put together 20 years ago, I think the guy said. Never been run. Parts are actually what they're supposed to be, but 20 years ago. It's only this new stuff that's made wrong. Alright, where's my rods at? Oh, they're right here. Okay, so we got to measure my rods. They got a rough ass finish in them.
You say these needed to be opened up. We didn't even measure those other rollers.
I don't know, I don't have your stuff here. I got my stuff here. Put your stuff one here and one here. Make sure the stuff ain't dripping goo when you come over here.
What'd you do with that white rag? You rolled it up.
I hid it from you because I knew you were going to lose it. Okay, this is our setting standard. It's 1 5/8, which is what the ID of the rod is supposed to be. Give or take clearances. So that's how you set your gauge over here. So we set this thing for 0 up on the dial up there. Dial right now is 1/10 off. I never trust it though. I always come back and check it again. Tenth of a tenth off. Now we flip it 180 and try it again. Yeah. This side's bigger. A little fat on that side. Right on the money that side. See, I always measure this side, so there's getting to be a little bit of a mark in here. Starting to induce a little bit of an error. Okay, so that's now set. Okay, now we can go back over here with Junior. Instead of working on cases, we're working on rods now. See, now we just did the balancing, I guess that makes sense. One here, one there, don't mix them up in line. Which one's this? The U set?
Use.
U set?
All that's used.
New set?
New set.
New set? Or used set?
This is all new.
So the rollers are all screwed up with the used ones, or new ones? Alright.
The used ones are gone. I do not have the rollers anymore.
Alright.
I believe you said they were junk
Probably.
and they went away.
Belong to you. These are my rods. A little tighter than I like them. That one's good. Nice and loose. See, I like them like that. That's how it's supposed to be. Nice and loose. This one needs to be burnished in a little bit. Got high spots in there. Trying to drop. Close enough. Alright. That was a used wrist pin I was using. Okay, now we go check, see if these things are straight. How about you? Gonna check, see if your stuff's straight?
Yeah.
What if it's not?
No, it's not.
Okay.
These are straight. They're just
Why don't
too
you turn
tight.
that light off up front? I don't know why it's on.
Straight, not tight.
There's a light on the back too. I don't know why that one's on. There's some more used crap. Alright. Let's go kill the light in the back. Somebody left it on too. Alright. Someone asked if I made this. No, I didn't make it. I bought it. Actually, I didn't buy it. Dad bought it. I stole it from Dad. So if you want to know who made it, some guy named Lee made it. Now that wasn't Lee out of China. This is Lee out of Dakota. imagine that thing is probably made in the 50s. Okay, I remade it. I made the sleeves here so they're nice and tight on the arbor. There's not a lot of clearance. The original ones kind of had a lot of slop in them, so it gave me errors when I was putting my rods on. So I didn't like that. So I fixed it. I made some parts. So I didn't make it, but I remade it. Okay, what this does is it holds the rod up vertical, perpendicular off the shaft, and then the wrist pin should be straight. If it's bent up, down, side to side, you straighten it until it's straight. Unless you want it bent. On my flathead bike, I purposely bend the rods. I want them to be bent. But that's kind of a special application. Alright, so here's our rod. Now you always want to align these before you do the final hone because it does warp the rod down here and mix it out around. I've seen as much as 1.5 thou. Usually that's if you put new races in, it does that because the race is moving the rod. Okay, you put your little doggy up on there and now you check to see if it's square. I can't get in here, there's too much crap in my way. I'm gonna move the whole cart. Okay, it appears that we have a problem here. First thing, you take that tool. I need my other tool. My other tool. Took everything. No, that's not a tool, it's a rod.
I didn't see another toolbox.
Little twist handle. Oh, right here. My fault. Okay, so we have a gap. So we're hitting on this lower corner here. We got a gap on top, gap on the other side. We got more gap on the side than top. So the rod needs to be bent this way and then that way. You got that? I didn't bend that, did I? I'd say we got to buy new rods now. Oh my God, did you see what happened? Oh, that's horrible. What do I gotta do now to fix it? Same thing, because it didn't move. It's a good rod, a lot of springiness to it. Good rods don't bend. Bad rods fold up on you when you're doing something. Okay, that looks a lot better now. Looks good. Check it again and see if it moved. If it moved, that means you didn't repeat. That means your tool sucks. Yeah, damn it, it repeated. Okay, now we turn it 180 degrees. Let's see if it repeats that way. If it's straight one direction, it should be straight the other, right? A few thou on one side. But close enough. We are good. It's within probably about 4 thou at least, maybe 3. Okay, so that one's good. We had to do a little bit of tweaking on it, but it's good. Where'd you get this one from? This doesn't look like an Ultima rod. This resembles a Harley rod. Uh-oh. You know what? We got the same problem we had before. Except the top's all right. It's just the side here is bad. See the gap?
So it's just a twist instead of turning it, instead of prying the top, it's just a twist on the rod.
Here, hold the doggy. Don't drop the doggy. I don't think we can go to Kaylee and buy a new one.
The three-legged doggy?
The three-legged doggy with the tail.
Have you measured the three-legged doggy lately?
No.
How do
How
you
about a
know
little
the
bit of light on there?
three-legged dog is?
Now how do you know it's perfectly straight? Can you see the gap in there?
Yes, we can see the gap right here. You can put a feeler gauge in there.
Put a feeler gauge in there? I don't have a feeler gauge.
Yeah, you do. You have two of them. You have to order
I just
two.
got rid of one already.
Oh.
Oh, this thing's got a lot of springiness to it. Look at that. How much springiness it has on it. It just springs right back. I almost hit the doggy in the head. Did you see that?
Animal cruelty.
That's right.
There you go.
What'd you do?
1,000. No, still 2,000. Nothing. You repeated yourself.
I didn't fix anything? Oh my god, it's the same problem. Okay, that's it.
Get a little more aggressive with that.
There, I'm
dog.
going to get more aggressive with it, yeah. We got it now.
Ooh.
Did we move it finally?
Yeah, we moved it. Needs to move a little more though.
Oh, we didn't move it enough to make any real difference. It's closer. Even that light really hurts my vision on the top one. So I moved it almost enough. Now you want to bend it around to kind of let it self-normalize. Because everything has a memory to it, so you got to shake it.
Tool?
You got to shake it up slightly to remember where it goes back to. Looks like we got
Good
the same
dog is
issue.
Good enough. Good dog.
He says it's good enough, but I just say it didn't move yet. It's going to move at some point. You just watch, it's going to move. Oh, it moved. How about that one now?
Good dog.
You can't see, you need to look. Run the other way. You forgot about doing that, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh. Damn it. Look at that.
Nice.
It's the same that way, too. So it's a good rod testing machine because it tells you how good the rod is because when you bend on it. If it doesn't want to bend, it's good. What do you got? Where'd that come from?
China.
Is this a new one? Did you got a Harley pin for me?
Mm-hmm.
Get a clearance?
S&S pin.
This is not the right pin. This is for a Harley pin. We need an Evo pin. One thou different. Did you lose it?
Nope.
What'd you do with it?
In the production area.
Production area, huh? Look at that. It's a short little sucker, isn't it?
It is.
Uh-oh, look at that.
That rod is actually straight.
No, it's got a little bit of a gap on this side.
Does.
Just barely. I don't like some of these little flimsy ass rods because it bends right here. It bends the beam. Yeah, it's got the same issue though. Oh, that is flexible. Look at that. Here, center that up. Hello. Yo. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. That's probably come between the case halves. Probably come between the case halves. If it is, just clean it all up really good and put JB Will across the gap and let it sit and be fine. No. I didn't look. Well, I'm so busy though. And I already forgot about it. Go up higher, up higher, up higher. There you are, right there. Well, we're working. Okay. Bye. What'd you do?
Straighten that one. This one's dead nuts, both sides.
Dead nuts, both sides. Now you see how flexible those rods are compared to a genuine Harley rod?
Mm-hmm.
You know, this crappy panhead stuff.
Yeah.
Stock rods are pretty strong a lot of times.
These are legit right here, both sides. I took this around, flipped it.
Okay. Well, I really like that. Let's slide off that sucker. And my doggy will be hurt.
I thought that was the best place. Nice flat
Put 'em on the
surface.
table. See, now you can't slide off. You can hit it with the hammer there, but you can't slide off.
And it's
You already did that one.
rest and repeat, not these ones.
You break it?
Not the heat treated ones.
The heat treated ones. That's called temperature enhancements. How's that sound?
It was all the way enhanced. I'll tell you what, right about Hakamba. And,
Right about 80 miles away to desert? Okay.
yeah. Good though, for all the enhancements. Wow,
They're good rods.
straight.
Don't clean on that so hard. Be careful.
Bueno.
Bueno? What's bueno mean?
It means it'll bounce along.
Bouncy. Bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. Alright. So those are straight?
Good boss.
How much for that special tool over there by that Ford? Is that a Ford tool?
The Ford tool?
Yeah. Is that a genuine Ford tool?
I think they're all Ford tools, right? Everything all started out Henry Ford. God.
Break it again.
This is a pretty neat little tool. Yeah.
Not little. How about that stand it's on? 1,600 pounds of steel table there.
Oh, this one?
Yeah. He's breaking your rods.
It's the doggy.
It's the doggy.
Got a guy out front.
Oh. What if I'm over here?
Both directions.
All right.
Clean as it goes.
I gotta go work. Bye. All right, back in our home. All right, so I measured the crank pin when we're 7/10, 3/10 under standard. The bearings were on size. We need 9/10 clearance. So we take 9, we subtract off the 3, leaves us 6. So we need 6/10 over standard is what we need for clearance for this minimum. So we go over here and see what our rods are actually at. And we're 6/10. We're out around a little bit. Yeah, about 8. It's 6 to 8. And this one's at 1 thou. So these rods are a little bit on the wrong size. So one's a little tight, one's a little, actually one's about on size, the other one's tight. So we're going to go ahead and equalize that out a little bit, get a little bit smoother finish. Don't really want to take too much material away, but I don't want an out around rod either. I'd rather be slightly loose than be out around. This junk out of my way. Put their stuff in my way over here.
Out.
Yeah, I'm working around it. Here, you can have this. See, I don't give you anything. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and hone these out and see what we come up with. We're going to use a real fine hone. Get a bit smoother finish on this thing. Look at how uneven the wear is on the rod. Not holding much. Rubber tense now. Good. I knocked that 3/10 out around. We're down to less than a 1/10 now. Yeah, that was 1/10 right there. Yeah, 1/10.5 on the bad side. I got another 1/10 I can cut out, so I'm going to take another 10 out. Try to do that a little more. One side here's where the problem is. Yeah, it's just about 12 tenths, or not 12 tenths, 1.2 tenths out. 12 tenths, that'd be less than that. That'd be 25 millions or something like that. All right, so we got that cleaned up. All right, so this set's good to go. Where's your rods at?
Coming right up.
Let's go. My hands are dirty. You're holding up production over here. I need a wrist pin too.
Set number 1 used with a wrist pin.
I gotta do some measuring, so we'll be back. Flip that off.